So we're gonna start with our names. My name is Anastasia Slusarenko, and I am originally from Ukraine, from Poltava, and lived last 5 years in Kharkiv, and now I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
My name is Stan Petrovsky. I'm originally from Kiev, Ukraine. That's the capital of Ukraine. And this year is our 10th anniversary in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
I think being Ukrainian definitely make a mark in every heart, and we've been raised sometimes strict, poor, but we've always been told how to be honest and brave and love your country. Even we live right now in the United States, and which we're extremely grateful for, but I'm going to be forever Ukrainian.
In our hearts, our family is still living over there. My mom and my dad are still in Kiev. They're in the bomb shelters right now. They're being bombed every day. It's pretty scary. Before, I used to call them often and just checking on them constantly. And now I ask them to just send me an update each certain amount of times. And letting me know that they're still alive. It's crazy. We're gonna go ahead and we'll talk a little bit about the maybe history of Ukraine, so you guys will get to know a little bit of the story of how it's all happened and how the situation is right now, how you see it.
And I think that this is very important to talk about history, because then you would understand why we are where we are and why Ukrainian people would never settle for Russian dictator, never. And the history is coming from thousands of years before Moscow was even created. So our blood is extremely strong. We are free people. So it's important to know why. It's important to know the reason.
Yeah, the history goes a long way, more than 1,500 years for Kiev, and so basically Ukraine been a part of the Soviet Union, and we experienced how is it to be under Soviet Russia, basically, and there has been a lot of the instances where Ukrainian people were kind of like neglect the
Yes, there was true Ukrainian genocide.
1933, 1932. It's called the Holodomor, and 1932, 1933, millions of Ukrainians died, and there was a horrible disaster. It was not the only bad experience that we had in our history. There's been a lot of different situations where a neighbor, let's say, like the kind of like the older, larger brother, Russia would treat us not fair. Let's say after the Second World War, when Ukrainians lost close to 8 million of its people in Second World War, we haven't received much of the reparations, and there has been a long history of kind of like Russia treating us not a good way, and it's enough for us at this moment, and we don't want to be a part of that no more. We've seen how it is, and people of Ukraine don't want to go back to that scenario.
This is very important to say that Ukraine is famous to the whole world with its soil, and everybody knows us as European breadbasket, and we've been abused by our big neighbor without definitely, without using our true potential, we're just being abused for that. When Ukrainian people been starving, all our bread from Ukraine been sent to Russia, and this is not the reason why we're fighting right now, but that's one of the reasons that we have been stabbed in the back. And then history is going closer to our days in 2014 for the revolution, and again, our brave people didn't settle for a corrupted president who almost sold half of our country to Russia. So whenever people went to the streets, brave people who were giving their lives to change the world and to change the life of their kids and grandkids for future generations.
It was a pro-Russian president, Yanukovych. It was a pro-Russian president that wanted to turn the course of Ukraine back to Russia. And people again had enough. They wanted to go towards the United Nations. They want a civilized, democratic society over there, where you have law, when you have the right of private property, when your rights can be protected in court. All of those things that normal Western world has, that's how Ukrainian people wanted it to be. But looks like right now Russia taking the aggression, and it didn't happen right now. Back in 2014, after we sent our former president Yanukovych back to Russia, they took Crimea, Donetsk and Luhansk areas from us. We were distracted at that time. Our army was not as strong, and they took those territories.
Which a completely different story been told to Russian people. But we do have different mentality. Even we've been saying for so many years that we are brothers and sisters, but we do have different mentality. We would never settle for corrupted government, which they did for last, 20 years. We're not scared of a free voice, even if it's gonna hurt us, even if we had to go to jail. And most of Russian people are scared of that. But I'm not talking about those brave ones that are paying for their bravery in Russia. There are still people like that. But we've been ready to be part of European Union for a long time, with mentality, with lifestyle, with attitudes. We've definitely been ready. And Russia was never okay with that. And let's say not Russia. I'm not scared of that name. Putin was never okay with that. And he truly thinks that he can teach everybody a lesson, that he is a big brother for many countries, for Georgia, for Chechnya, for Ukraine, for Belarus. But we don't need you. We don't need you. You're not our big brother. You're nobody for us. We're completely gone. There is no way for you to catch up with us. Mentally, we're gone. Financially, we're gone. Economically, we're gone. And even he's trying to catch up with us now and make sure that he has Ukraine back. Our hearts are gone. There is no way he can control Ukrainian people. So that's why we're still going to talk a little bit more about our history. That's why it's very important to stop him now before he destroys the whole nation. And that's the only way he's going to have territory of Ukraine. Only if he will destroy the whole nation, because people are not going to give up. People are not going to settle for him being our president.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I also want to add that something like this should have never happened in this age. This is just insane. This is crazy. If let's say like there should be a different way. Let's say Russia is greatest country and it's so nice over there and everything is great. So they should have shown us this. They should have shown us this with their programs, with their policies, and then Ukrainians would look at that and they would say, yeah, this is awesome, let's be together, you know. But we don't see that. There is nothing like that. It's just a starvation, and just horrible. So for this reason, and on the other side, we see the Western world, you know. So the choice is clear for us, for Ukrainians. The choice is clear.
Because in Russia, you don't need to be in a prison physically. You can just live in your apartment, but you're still gonna feel like you're in prison because there is no free speech. There's no right for free speech, and if you post something on social media, in 4 hours you can be taken to the actual prison. So we cannot settle for that, for sure.
Yeah, right now they introduced crazy bills over there where it's going to be insane amount of money if you're going to say something bad about Russian army or something like that. So all the channels are quiet, you know. You only can say what the main propaganda machine is approving. That's it. And a lot of people they don't have a second side. They don't have a second opinion. They don't see another side. They only see what's being broadcast daily from those controlled channels, and those people are basically, they're like zombies. They don't know what's happening. So for this reason, it's our mission to we have some Belarusian friends here. It's our mission to explain them what's happening and to encourage them so they can speak to their families back there in Russia, and so they can do something about it. They cannot be quiet.
Yes, and I want to say that unfortunately, that mentality is so deep in a lot of Russian people. Not all of them. We have a lot of Russian supporters now who are stressed, who are in panic, who are in pain as well, who understand the tragedy that is happening in the world. But unfortunately, even locally here in Myrtle Beach, which is scary, there are a lot of people who are scared to talk about this question, or who still believe in Putin's regime, which is obviously a big scam. But that's what Russian soldiers even trying to bring now to Ukraine. In Kherson, in Kherson, they brought some actors and cameras today, and some huge trucks with food, which they didn't let our trucks with food to come and feed people and give them medication. So they made people starve for a few days, and they brought trucks with some food, and they wanted to give it to Ukrainian people and record a video and show it in Russia that actually Ukrainians are welcoming Russians there, and no real Ukrainians came to get anything. They're still starving there. So just 30 actors were jumping around and pretending like, yes, we're happy that Russians are here, but that system doesn't work in Ukraine. And while they're doing that, in 2022, they make our people starve. If people are not agreeing with their rules, they're shooting into our civilians. Today they shot, this is just a small example, they shot 4 volunteers who were bringing food to animal shelter. For what? For no reason. These people are terrorists, and the world need to react. Not to react only with words, with sorry words, which we totally appreciate it, but we need real actions. We do need real actions. Everybody is finding excuse not to shelter the sky, but at this point, this is not allowed. Sky need to be sheltered because the country will be destroyed to the dust. The country will be destroyed to the ground. Only because on the ground, the qualities of armies completely different. Ukrainian army they have a reason what they're fighting for. And also...
And also I want to add a few things here on this topic. You guys are hearing a lot of the time that Ukrainians are asking for help to shelter the sky, and we have reasons to ask for it. We have a right to ask for it, not just because of some like reason, but we have a clear reasons why we do ask for it, and we have a right to ask for it. And the reason being is Budapest Memorandum. Ukraine was the third nation in the world with the arsenal of the nuclear weapons, the third largest in the world of the nuclear weapons. And during the Budapest Memorandum signing, Ukraine agreed to give away its nuclear power in exchange for the territorial securities of its country that's been signed by United States, Great Britain, Russia, and other countries. So we gave away our weapons, and now we cannot protect ourselves in exchange for the securities. And now, when it's time to provide those securities for Ukraine, unfortunately, it's been provided not fully for us. And it's very sad that people are dying daily. It's very sad.
It's very sad. It's very sad, but we always will be proud of the heroes who are fighting there now. Not only army, which our army is absolutely incredible and breathtaking, their bravery, but also regular people who never held their guns in their hands. They're being trained and they're going to protect the country. They're going to protect the nation. They're going to stand by our president, who's the hero of the world right now, who's an example of true president, of true captain, true general. I know that we talked about it with actually a lot of volunteers and Ukrainian people here in the area, that we're going to be located here in Myrtle Beach, in America. And while we know that we are more useful from here, while we know that we can help those people more from here than from home, we will be here. And that moment when we will understand that we are needed there is going to be a one-way ticket. We are ready. I know that I am, for sure. So, you know, the whole world is united right now. We need to see that in actions, real actions from governments, and we need for governments to be brave, because we cannot let the bully rule the world. And even Russians are learning their lesson with the sanctions right now, but they need to see real actions, that what they're doing is not allowed, and there is a punishment coming after them.
And Ukrainian president mentioned that if Putin is not going to be stopped at the Ukrainian territory, then the war is going to go further. It's going to be on the doorstep of other countries, of the NATO countries. So it's very important to help Ukraine to stand with those guarantees that's been provided during the Budapest Memorandum signing, and we encourage the world to not to stop covering this event, and to continue of spreading the word out about this. And there should be no war.
Yes, no war. Definitely no war. This war is also not only on the ground or in the air. This war is in social media. This war is between information and who can bring the true information to the table, to your home, to your TV, which we've seen many false news, and that's wrong. So all the journalists, you need to be true to your profession. You need to cover true stories, and that's very important. And all the people, all the volunteers, all the people who care, this is not just saying we need to color the world in blue and yellow. We need to show that there is no room for evil. We need to prove that we all are God's kids, and God is answering our prayers.
A few updates that our priority right now is collect medical equipment, and we're building and shipping out the trauma kits. We're constantly collecting items that are being requested from Ukrainian side. We have Gifts and Go trauma kits campaign where we raise money for those medical supplies so we can save lives. We do have a few cash boxes locations throughout the town of Myrtle Beach where you can donate the money, and we also created a non-profit organization so we can help more Ukrainians. And if some of the larger companies hear us, please contact us. And if you have some donations that are needed right now, we would really appreciate it. We'll pick it up. We have semi-trucks, we have warehouse locations where it's all being sorted and it's being sent to Ukraine.
Yeah, we already sent our second shipment to Ukraine, so we are working nonstop, 24/7. And thank you very much to our families who are supporting us during this absolute tragic times in our lives. I never experienced fear like this. I never experienced anger like this, and I never experienced pride like this. So yeah, huge thank you to our families.
Big thanks also goes to all the local media outlets for allowing us to speak. This is very important, and thank you guys so much. God bless you all.
Slava Ukraini!
Героям слава!
Glory to Ukraine!
Glory to heroes!